Peace and love, everybody. Welcome. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. This is today's the Yoga of Brownie Points. So namaste and peace and love. Now, last week we talked about non-attachment to the outcome of charitable action, karma yoga, or what I titled the Yoga of Charity, which has deep roots in Christianity. And today, I planned on moving on to comparing the many similarities between Raja Yoga and mystical Christianity. However, some viewers, two or three, asked a couple of questions about non attachment to the outcome. And can it coexist? Can non attachment to the outcome of charitable action coexist with the hope for heavenly or earthly rewards for our good deeds? I'm Peter Panagore, two-time near-death experiencer and ex-clergy, and this is mysticism through the lens of near-death experience, not church, no doctrine, dogma, or Bravo Sierra. Thanks for joining me here this morning. Hey, Susie, hi, Lee in Connecticut. Thanks for being here. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. But first, let's center in, quiet our minds, open our hearts, and join our hearts together briefly before we begin. I was just doing a little meditation and yoga myself, so I'm all kind of charged up. Hey there, Kelly and David. Glad you guys are here. A couple of folks from Boulder, both of you guys. Oh my gosh, 4 below there. Here, I'm going to center my head here, center my heart. Long, slow breath. Silent mind. If you ever feel the energy of the divine while we're here together, let us know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you feel that tingly warmth, effervescent feeling of otherworldliness. Please say so. So, for clarification purposes, I rewrote one of my viewers' comments, and I hope this does justice to your meaning. So, here it is. Oh, also, thanks for listening in live and recorded. So, here it is. I have questions. Is it wrong to do good deeds, help others, and be kind to them because it feels good to me? Helping people does feel good, and it's part of the reason why we are kind. And then she asks, and is it wrong to be charitable because I can't bear seeing people suffering and struggling? My answer, being charitable is always good, even when it relieves one's own empathetic pain when seeing or feeling the suffering of others. So if you're helping somebody feel better because it makes you feel better, you're still helping them feel better. And that relieves yourself of their influence in your emotional state, shall we say. So they asked, is it wrong to do good deeds because I hope my good deeds will come back to me in my life as a blessing from God? That what I put into the world comes back to me. When I do goodness in the world, does it return to me? I have faith that God will not let our good deeds go unrewarded. And since I was young, every good deed I do intends to give love and kindness because by the intention that goodness will come back to me in some way, multiplied in some form. Is it wrong to have a compassionate intention if I hope to gain some merit or karmic benefit from it? And that is my rewriting of their question. with a plural there. So here's my reply. Does what goes around come around? Put good in the world, you get good back. Put love in the world, you get love back. Now, this idea is often associated with cause and effect. I do this thing and this results, suggesting that our actions have consequences, which we know they do. Now, for example, I have to clean my glasses because the consequence of touching my lens is that I couldn't see what I was reading. There we go. For example, karma suggests that if you're good to others, others will be good to you, and vice versa. If I treat people the way I like to be treated, the golden rule, generally people treat me pretty well. Yet, we know that bad things happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people. All things happen to all people. And maybe you've heard the saying somebody said once or twice, you've heard, no good deed goes unpunished. More simply, the question is, if I put love into the world through my intention, does it come back to me in some form in abundance? One only needs to look at domestic violence reports to know that frequently the victim's love for the abuser is repaid in violence or coercive control. So it's not as clean and clear as you might like it to be. And following my first NDE, while reflecting on my hellish life review and the merciful love that released me from my own karmic attachment to the suffering that I had created in life, in my heart and in my mind, after all of this, when I came back here, I decided that I would try to live in ways that caused as little harm as possible through acts of kindness, compassion, and love. And yes, it arose up in me and kind of came back with the package. But I definitely chose to do that because I wanted and I want to maximize my light gathering in this life, to minimize any hellish life review that I might encounter when this life ends. And I know that, well, I don't know. Okay. I think that maybe I'm going to go back through another kind of similar life review. And so, although I had all this mercy given to me, I'd rather not go through it at all if I don't have to. If I can gather up enough light in this lifetime to make that passage easier for myself, I want that. So that when I encounter my life's end, it's a little bit easier. And I look forward for my efforts and I look for my reward. I'm sorry. I look forward to my reward for my efforts in the afterlife. I do. I'm kind of hoping like, okay, a little easier this time, maybe. I want to carry as much love and light into death as I can because I know that love is the treasure of life and the treasure of heaven. I know that that's what allowed me to receive the love that I received, was the love that I carried. I could see it because of it. Like sees like. Now, one night last week after the big storm, the first big storm, a significantly financially challenged neighbor knocked on our door after dark. A tree had fallen down and taken out his power line and his landline and his cable. And he asked to borrow a cell phone to call his sister. And he told us all his food was in the fridge, and he was afraid to open the fridge. And he couldn't even cook it if he had to because he didn't have a stove. And he was going to have a cold meal that night. And so we lent him a phone and called his sister and gave him some of our dinner. Now, we didn't do this for worldly gain. We didn't do this hoping to get something back for the good that we put into the world. We did it because he needed it. It wasn't transactional. We weren't looking for some expected outcome or return from him. Heck, we told him to keep the Tupperware. Or from God in this life, in some other form. What goes around comes around in this lifetime. Well, that's partly true, you know. You treat people well, you get treated well in return. We weren't attached to the outcome with him. Now, however, every kind of love act is like another gold coin of love stored in the vault of the heavenly reward. Another, another gold coin in there, especially if it's not transactional, if you're not looking to be attached to the outcome, if you're not looking for something from them. It's okay if you are. And but I don't do my good deeds in return for some exchange here in the world to receive them back in some other form. And if it does come back to me, then great. But I don't expect it or hope for it because kind acts are a form of prayer. Karma yoga is a form of prayer. You're not only helping the other person, you're helping yourself through non-attachment to the outcome because you're practicing the same thing that you're doing in your meditative life. You're detaching from the uh, you're not getting rid of your egoic self. You're detaching from it. You're becoming non-attached to your egoic self. So I live in this contradiction, expecting no reward in this life or abundance, but I kind of hopes that, great is your reward in heaven. Matthew 5. Great, great, great is your reward in heaven. I'm pretty sure that it will ease my passage from this life into the next because the light just loves itself. And although I don't expect outcome, I mean, expect whatever outcome there is, there's a benefit to me here in this world. In the world, acts of kindness are like pebbles dropped in still water. They ripple outward from one person to the next, changing their lives and their hearts, if only in little small ways. In heaven, charitable love is the coin of the realm. And charitable love is selflessness, which is to say, non attached to the outcome of the action. Now, in Tom and Mai's town, the woman who donated the money for the YMCA field house, she's got her name on it. And the pool bears the name of the man who gave the money. And they received public acclaim. And I joined in, thanking them. I used the field house and the pool. They intended to help the community and they created a legacy for themselves, for their names, and no harm done to their spirituality. In truth, great good was done. And it was transactional. I'll give you this money if you put my name on it. Yeah, sure, why not? What's not to love about providing access to fitness and values for our children and adults and a community center? What's not to love about that? So much good was done and they get their names on it. They got their egos boosted. So what? What harm could there be through action to intend and send kindness in the world, hoping it would return to us? This person was worried that all her life she's been intending to gain through giving and do a kind act and put love into the world, believing that it will come back to her, and it does come back to us. But if it doesn't come back to us, no harm done because goodness results. People's lives are touched and changed, and that is, and in and of itself, is uh, well, it's good karma. Even transactional charity. I give this to you in the hope of some earthly reward. It's still helpful. And many generous philanthropists give grants specifically with expectation for a particular outcome. And thankfully, they do because they help. Now, spiritually speaking, giving without expectation of outcome, well, it has a benefit. It grows us more quickly than attachment to the outcome does because it's a practice of non attachment, of not attachment to the self. Non attachment to the outcome is a practice of selflessness because I'm the only thing that stands between me and God, my egoic self. You get these two doors. You get this door out into the world, and you're just looking out this way all the time, and you don't even realize you got a door behind you, and that door is part of you. Turn around and face it. Deny yourself, says Jesus, because I'm the only thing that stands between me and God. And the more I step aside in my practice, meditative practice, Kriya yoga practice, daily living practice, the more heaven dwells inside me. So there is benefit to me here, but not by being attached to the outcome. The more I give, the more I get. The more you have, the more you're given. And what do I get? I get this bubble of heaven I live inside of, this radiance that is experiential to me in this freaking moment. The yoga of charity grows compassion inside us. And this interior growth creates a deep connection with the divine inside myself and in the world around me. And I'm not speaking for anyone else who may or may not agree with me. I came back this way with this energy, and I want to cultivate it. And I found in the literature that kindness without sense of reward is actually rewarded. And I came back with that intention inside me anyway, bubbling up. So, yes, my karma yoga, my yoga of charity, comes back to me in life, inflating my bubble of heaven here, now, where I live, who I am in this body, as it lives inside of me, as I discover that it is me more and more. Even in hard times, even when my good deeds get punished, as they sometimes do. And I don't ask anyone to believe me or agree with me or disagree with me. I have found this to work in my own life. And so I practice it because it works. Now, I understand the benefit of doing good deeds and hoping for the rewards in this life. I totally get that. And I'm cool with that because it helps so many people. Good intention purifies the heart. Good intention purifies the heart. Your intention is good. It purifies you. But non-attachment to the outcome even detaches the person from the desire it detaches me from my own desire for heaven dwelling inside me. I just let it be. And it is. So good intentions and action purifies the heart and it helps the world. It's all good. People who I'm responding to today, you're doing good. You're doing well. You're not wrong. Just keep doing what you're doing. Karma yoga is the yoga of charitable action. And as a yoga with non-attachment to the outcome, it unites us with the divine. And you see this in churches. I started this little series a couple weeks ago talking about karma yoga in churches. And whole organizations can do good in the world. There's a little Sea and Science Center up the bay here. A nonprofit doing good in the world. There's the food pantry. They're doing good in the world. Even little actions in daily life, charitable actions of helping people out in your neighborhood, which is what we're trying to figure out here along the coast of Maine. How do we help those who've been damaged by these two storms? And that's what I hope to be doing this afternoon. So thanks for listening and spending time with me here today. Thanks for your support. I couldn't do what I'm doing. I couldn't give all of this away for nothing without your charity. So thank you, because I don't want to have pay doors up. And if you wish to speak with me privately or provide support, please visit peterpanagore.love. And join us at the top of the hour for Mystic Tea Salon, where in conversation we'll expand on today's theme and wander off on other paths of wisdom, thoughts, ideas, and sometimes poetry. And we have community rules. compassion, kindness, humility, authenticity, and experience. Come join us. We've been meeting for quite a long time now. And the reason why we keep gathering is because it helps all of us. Me too. It's a community, and I'm grateful for it. So see the link in the show notes. Peace and love to everybody. I'm going to skim back up here, see what's going on. I'm going to start at the bottom, though. Good morning. Good morning, Pat, from the chilly Pacific Northwest, where I heard you guys are getting that big, huge polar vortex. Nobody's wife, ASMR. Hey, friend. Cool. We actually, if you're the same person who's been in touch with me, I'd like to be back in touch again. Timothy. Good to see you, Timothy. Timothy turns out to be friends of a dear friend of mine. We talked last night. High quiet energy. Thank you. You're welcome. Our thoughts often thought about this. Good. I hope it helped. Thanks, Vineyard Worker. Lovely talk. Devana, hi. Got here late. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Candyman. Hola. My belief is that even the smallest act of kindness, charity will come back to us 100-fold. It does. And it's so the penny, the gold coin you put into heaven here is worth 100 pennies up there. It's really it's a multiplying factor. Kindness feels yummy, Alan. Yeah, it sure does. Giving and receiving it. I know you're generous. -8 in the Ozarks. Jeepers creepers, Judy. If we are all one, then doing goodness for others is inherently doing good for ourselves, and that is the truth. We are all one. And when we do good to others, the reason it comes back to us is because we're doing the good to ourselves, the divine itself. I prefer it when my acts of charity makes me feel closer to the divine, but the value of my action in the world can be great even when I am blind to the connection. Yeah, it can be. And sometimes it's even better. In heaven, charitable love is the coin of the realm. Drop mic. Oh, thanks, Tim. Coin of the realm. Thank you, brother. Look forward to further conversations. Turns out you have radio in your past, too. Palladium's triumph. It's always so enriching and uplifting to see you. Thank you. Thank you kindly. The last temptation is the greatest treason, to do the right deed for the wrong reason. T.S. Eliot. Oh, I love T.S. Eliot. That is a beautiful quote. I'm going to read it again. The last temptation is the greatest treason, to do the right deed for the wrong reason. T.S. Eliot. What a brilliant writer. Do you hold the door open for someone to hear them say thank you, or just to be helpful? Does it hurt you if you don't hear thank you? Good question, Tom. All right. Thanks for being here. Hey, Angie, Martha, Sherry from Australia. Wow, you win the prize for distance today. Let's see. I'm going to say meet you in about 6 minutes at the top of the hour. I'm going to step aside here for a minute, and I'll turn that on. The Zoom link, it should be below. If it's not, let me know. But I'll take a look. I think it is. Peace and love to you all. Hey, Lynn. Peace and love to you all. Thanks for being here. Love you guys.